because of my background, a lot of the organisations I ended up working with were in the high-tech sector. And they were always a bit different because you have to keep up with the latest tech. It's no good you having the best valves if everybody else is using semiconductors. It's no good you having the best transistors if everybody's using integrated circuits. It's no good you having the best integrated circuits if everyone's using programmable device integrated circuits. So it's like the technology is always moving on. And one of the things that's peculiar about the high-tech industries, and always has been, is the people who understand the tech are usually the young people because they've grown up with it, they've studied at university, so they're coming into organisations at a relatively junior level, but they're bringing in the leading edge sense making. And so the cultures in those organisations have always been a little bit different to the traditional top-down command and control, where it was assumed that the more senior you were, the more experience you'd got, understandably. Therefore, the better your sense making was. Therefore, you should be making sense and making decisions, and then everybody else should be doing pretty much what they're told to do. And if you go back to Frederick Winslow Taylor and scientific management, which was 1911, the idea that a worker would actually get involved in making decisions about what was the best thing to do was completely anathema. I mean, it was like, you just don't do that. The job of the senior people was to make the decisions, and the job of the junior people was to do what they were told to do. And it was really only in the 1980s that people started to question some of that thinking, largely because Japan had come back from having been defeated in World War II to suddenly becoming the world's second largest economy. And they were doing it because they'd got all the workforce who were working on new products and working on production, continuously improving what they were doing. The whole quality movement and ISO 9000 and total quality management, which was really big in the 80s and 90s, came about because you realised that actually the best people to come up with improvements to processes and products are often the people who are making them, because they're dealing day in, day out with something that they can see isn't working, that somebody more senior decided. And often they just do workarounds or whatever. But if you deliberately create the culture where the people who are doing the work get to sense make and involved in the decision making about how to improve things, then you actually get improvement built into the processes. And these Japanese companies were wiping the floor with, North US companies. The whole of the television industry got eaten up. A lot of other white goods and cars, automotive, all of these things that were coming out of Japan were just so much higher quality at equivalent or lower cost